Come with me as I hunt for some radioactive things in places that you probably didn't even know were radioactive. Let's go ahead and try out Tractor Supply. Now, these grinding wheels are something I commonly see set off radiation detectors at scrap yards. They contain naturally occurring radioactive materials such as radium, thorium, or uranium. Nothing too high, but definitely elevated. Now, you may not have known this, but fertilizer is radioactive. That's because it contains a thing called phosphogypsum, which contains also those same radioactive materials such as uranium, thorium, radium. Again, nothing too high when it comes to the levels here, but when you put a truckload of this going through customs, it's going to set off detectors. Next, I was able to make it on over to one of my favorite thrift stores to go to and found some uranium glassware that contains uranium. As some of you might be well aware, I already have enough of my own uranium glass, so I left this for other people to find.
All sorts of nice radioactive things. And now for the grocery store.
Now, the first place I went to was straight to the kitty litter aisle because I know kitty litter loves to grab onto radioactive material. That's because kitty litter is made of clay that likes to readily absorb anything, as you all might know. Again, not very radioactive, but get enough of it together and you'll set off some detectors.
Here is where we have the most radioactive thing that I've been able to find in any store. And this is no salt, so it's a salt substitute that has potassium on it. Let's go ahead and go home and I can show you all what it looks like when you hold it up to the salt by itself. Now, here is my own personal stash of no salt for this exact demonstration purpose. Let's go ahead and dump out a little bit here next to my 3D printer. And you can see, oh, gotta take off the cover first. Look at that. Now what you're seeing here is a positron decay of potassium-40.
Why is there this radioactive potassium-40 in this no salt? Well, a very tiny percentage of all potassium on Earth is a radioactive isotope, potassium-40. And it's not just the potassium that's in no salt, it's the potassium that's in bananas, in potatoes, and all sorts of fruits and vegetables. It's something that occurs naturally. You need potassium. So should we be afraid of all this radioactive material that we're seeing at the grocery store and at antique stores? The short answer is absolutely not. No matter where you live on Earth, you are constantly being bombarded with radiation from space, from the Earth, from things you eat, and it's not anything that you need to be concerned about. Humans have evolved living in radiation for millions of years. In fact, if you go farther back in time, it was actually more radioactive. So unless you're being exposed to a very large amount of radioactive material or radiation, it's not anything you really need to be concerned about. Now, it's really cool to be able to go around and detect all this sort of radioactive material around, but just because it's detectable does not mean it's dangerous.